All right, guys, I got a banger of a video for you that I lost the last like 15 minutes of. It's very frustrating. But let's get the excuses aside, all right? First, let me explain what you can get, what you can expect to get in this video. So I took the SAT official practice test number 3 2 days ago, all right? And I recorded the whole thing. I recorded the whole thing of me just solving it, and then second of me going back over the answers slowly while processing whether I really actually want to commit to the answers that I took under time conditions. And then I got three wrong. I got number 5 and 32 and 33 wrong. And besides those three questions, there were a couple other questions that were really fun because I really doubted like myself at certain moments, and then I overcame my doubts. And there were certain other questions that I kind of left not like 100% sure, but I still kind of navigated through them and got only three wrong on the overall test, which I think gave me a 48. Sorry, a 38 out of 40 for the reading section. Okay, so I did that. The problem though is that this file that I saved but didn't stream, which was a stupid mistake. I should have streamed it to YouTube. The file that I saved to my computer got corrupted after about 50 minutes. Okay, so you're gonna see all three of those mistakes, number 5 and 32 and 33. You're gonna see all three of those mistakes that I made, but you're not gonna see the fifth passage. So in this video, you're not able to see the live thing. Now, if any of you guys know how to like recover the audio at least, and ideally the audio and the video of a corrupted QuickTime file, like I think it's .mov, .move. Mm, if you guys know have any tips on like this video editing stuff, it would help me out a lot. I'm a noob. But assuming that we don't have that live recording anymore, you know, just because it's hard to do, it's honestly, all of this stuff is pretty hard for me to do. I'm just going to move on with this sort of imperfect, with this imperfect practice test number 3. God, I was so happy that I made this recording because there were so many good learnable moments in this test. There were so many good moments, but I don't know. We just gotta go move on to the next one and just do the next one. But for practice test number 3, you can see how I dealt with my confidence and how I calibrated it, and especially for 32 and 33, how I sort of messed it up, right? I should have reduced my confidence down to like low, and I should have been like, oh, this is low confidence, and I should have been I should have been dead set on coming back to it and double checking the two answers as a pair, because it's a paired question. If you get one wrong, you can get two of them wrong. It's a twofer, it's horrible. And I really should have been sensitive and careful with that, but I wasn't. So you can see how that mistake, how I made that mistake, but you can also see how I dealt with all the other challenging questions. Like even right off the bat, I think questions number 2 and 3 were pretty tough as well. And so you can see how I managed all of that in real time after this video. Now, some quick recommendations for how to watch this video. I'm not 100% certain of the best way to watch this video, but if you've never used the YouTube playback speed function, okay, it's gonna be right around, hang on, it should be around here, okay? It should be around here on the YouTube bar. Um, Go and mess with it. Maybe watch this remaining video at like 1.5 or 1.75 or 2.0x speed, and see the speed that's like fast enough that's not boring for you, but not so fast that you're like missing my whole process. Maybe 1.0 speed is a little too slow, honestly, for a valuable read, for a valuable view. I'm kind of curious what works best for you guys. So if you have any thoughts, leave them in the comments below, please. But I would personally, if I were you, I'd probably be watching this at 2.0 speed or even like 2.25 speed, 2.5 speed by using one of those Chrome extensions. So that is my big recommendation, and especially, I would recommend that you pause and stop at the parts where you not only you got the questions wrong, not only for the questions that you got wrong, but also for the questions that you kind of doubted, right? Go and pause yourself and compare how you dealt with that question and how I dealt with that question. Also, as always, I think listening to my thought process while I'm reading the passage might help you understand your own thought process while you're reading the passage. So I think that should be helpful for you as well. Again, this is all fairly experimental, so I don't know what's really working, and I'd be very curious to hear what you guys think about these live stream videos that I'm experimenting with and messing up with my freaking QuickTime and iMovie and whatever, So, you know what? It's all in the past. Moving forward, you got the December SAT, like less than a month ago. Let's do it. Here's the SAT. All right, practice test number 3. Practice test number 3. We're skipping practice test number 2 because on the official website, they kind of removed it because I guess the question quality wasn't so great. College Board. So I'm going on to practice number 3 as is in the list. So let's just get into it right now. Starting time. There's a method. Isn't this supposed to be fiction? Okay, so it's an interesting title. I don't think this method is going to help me with this title, but it is 1911. It's going to be slightly older. Language, maybe. We're having these proper British people, right? Roughly. Okay, let's go. Wayside Station, okay. That helps turn a living. Carter, what is a carter? Okay, cart, okay. I guess the her is the horse. Some. Ammunition. Okay, she is interfering. I see, there's a little bit of humor here. Being petty. Right, she's being petty. Vengeful. She merely lost a train, which gave steamed off. Wait. Oh, she just lost. Okay, okay, I see. That's literally she just lost a train. She missed a train. She boarded the desertion with. That's kind of funny. She's sort of an indifferent, animal loving person. Imposingly attired. And how is she attired? Is she dressed in a certain way? No, we don't know. Miss Hope. Very little argument. Confusing word. Very well, if I must, I must. Dangerous meekness, like kind of like a, it's like a barbed meekness. Quabarl. Where is your luggage? It's gone astray. A little bit of humor here. Lol. Near approach. How provoking. The nature of the charge. The charge being the boys. Okay, Claude and Wilfred. And the girls. Okay. Artistic, sensitive. Okay, in the 20th century. But interested. The life stories. At this point, it's really important to know what a governess is. It's a teacher who lives in with a student. No, not embarrass me. Jesus. As long as they are not serious. So we're showing a weakness in Quabarl, rendering them cowed and apologetic. She's a experienced tutor, an experienced governess. I see. Making her almost abject, right? Rankling her insecurities. A general. Ignominiously driven off the field. Right. So, Quabarl is being defeated by Carlotta. No, she's not weighing anything. Okay, what she's doing is she's intimidating her new employer, and she's winning. No, nope, nope. What? What's going on? Revenge does not correct a stranger who mistakes her for someone else. Oh, that could. I did feel that feeling for a second. Well, very much. Whoa, is that actually what was happening? Because I totally missed that if I did. Right. And the way we would know this is because she lost a train. She bored, right, the desertion. So she's actually supposed to be somewhere else. Right, right, right. The luggage is going to arrive without her. So before I, right. Oh, geez. That is, anyway, that's correct. That is correct. Okay, we're at 7:13 right now. 7:15. Okay. Turn. Took a turn or two up, down. Okay. Took a change of rotation. Took a rotation up and down its uninteresting length. Took a short walk up and down its uninteresting length. So I think I have to go against change, and I have to go with short walk because of up and down. This is kind of medium confidence. It's very uncomfortable. Okay, very uncomfortable. Not tactful, not ambitious. Probably yeah, but it's definitely outspoken. Where do we have other people? Other people. Vague, non-committal. Introduce that helps with that other question. Yo, we don't have a lot of evidence for this, but I guess outspoken is on the left side, right? Ah, none of our business. Okay, okay. That's 10 through 14. 10 to 14. That took me too much time. Too much time. 9:20. Okay. Mainly serves to deception is not quite it. Subtle cruelty. Yeah, that is correct. Humorous humorous insight. Changes. Whoa, that is tough, man. Uh, okay, let's keep going. Charge most nearly means responsibility. Let's double check. 55. Yeah. 10:20. Are unusually creative and intelligent. Hang on. No, no, no. Equally commonplace. Right, 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 right. Yeah, that's basically true. Okay. Easily defied. I'm looking for easily defied. Easily defied. 76, 77 to 82. 77 to 82. Yep. Okay. 1150. Twelve minutes. Okay. Quick pause, and now I'm continuing. Saving our cities from the automobile and ourselves. Strength. Okay. Cars. 7 billion people. And buses. It's kind of interesting. Half. Okay, I'm getting lost. Airplanes. Opposite of glamour. Squalid. Right. this is confusing because it's like, what's the focus? I thought we are trying to be against the car. Okay, I'm gonna double check the last paragraph real quick. Um, this transit trend has legs. Okay, well, okay, right. It doesn't have to be like this. Okay, so I'm just double checking here. Um, yeah. Who wouldn't drive? It doesn't have to be like this. That's good. Can be faster, more comfortable, cheaper. Shanghai. French. Spain to Sweden. So basically a bunch of examples of how it doesn't have to be this way. The millennials have outnumbered the boomers and they tend to favor cities and they are okay with buses and subways. It's one reason. Teenagers, only 10 million versus 12. Okay. Suburbs, cities. Oh, so even boomers, seniors are also using transit. So it's not just the millennials, it's also the seniors. So it's in older neighborhoods. Okay. So I'm looking at figure one. I'm just thinking uh, public transportation employed outside the home. And obviously, right, well, isn't that kind of natural? I don't know what the point would be there. Okay. Purpose is work. So that's the biggest one. Medical dental. School. School. Look at school over here. Yeah. Work and school. That's the biggest function, right? I guess what makes sense is you're not using public transportation to travel, for example. All right, we're at 17 right now. The third paragraph, serve in the whole as a whole. One, two, three. Okay. Okay. So what does this do? The counter, the negatives, right? So a practice favored, no, problem addressed by expert, no. Abandoning, no. But so it has to be B. Hmm? Ah, that's correct. Fuck. Uh, uh, I misread the logic in that sentence. Which choice is that? Convenience, probably. Is it speed? Okay, central idea is that it doesn't have to be this way. That you can improve on this stuff. Hmm? Oh yeah, two travel. Two, yes. Should mimic. Okay, we're at 2026. Are superior. Thirty-five to 37. Yep. 58 credit, 58 credit. If you believe, if you follow, if you follow, if you believe, okay. 61 favor, most nice. It means 10 to prefer. Yep. Okay. Best conclusion. So we're at 2120. Best supports conclusion that public transportation is compatible with the use of personal electronic devices. Oh, right. There was that one thing about how it's not so bad. It's the part I got a little stuck on, especially up to here. So it's until 63 to 66, 63 to 66, 63 to 66. Okay. Compatible with personal electronic devices. Just double checking. Personal electronic devices. Yeah. First figure. Students is greater than retirees. Students is greater than retirees. Unemployed and hell no. um, Employed are less. No. Unemployed use public transport less often. This is almost certainly true. I just need to double check A, because just be careful. Yep, students use it more than retiree. Students use it more than retiree. Okay, figure one. We're also just talking about figure one, right? Yep, first figure. Yeah. On the LSAT, this would be a wrong answer. So I do want to briefly mention, um, just like honestly, this use less often is wrong. Use less often, less wrong. We don't know about using less often. Ah, shit. Man, that took way too much time. Um, Wait, let me just double check. Oh, yes. Oh my God. Yes, that is true. Okay. Okay. 2405. That took too much time. Most people who use public transportation are employed outside and take public transportation to. Nope. And take public transportation. Nope. Private cars on the weekends. Ah. It's still. Okay, but you know what? I kind of messed up my time, so I'm gonna pause. All right, let's get started again. 3, 2, 1, go. Feathers. The answers to the birds. A ground up theory. Fleet footed. Leaping and flapping. Tree down theory. Climbers that leapt and glided. Candiel. Okay. Okay. Just checking the names that are about to come out. Chukar partridge. Pheasants quit. Groundbird ran. They jump up like popcorn. Groundbirds jump up. So this is the ground up theory. Flap their half morning, take short hops. Popcorn is such a good word. Challenge them to come up with new data on the usual ground up tree down. Pay 18 to them. How baby game burned. Clues in baby game burn. Baby game birds. Baby game birds. Baby game birds. The local rancher supplying it with birds. The cowboy. Nice, tidy laboratory setup. Incredulous. What are they hate to be on the ground. Give them something to climb on. Ledges, low branches, elevated perches. Safe for feeding and traveling. Terry, upset, he said. How old was he? Teenager. Okay. Right? And so cooperatively. Flapping down and backward. Ooh, that's an interesting analogy. Whoa. So it's the opposite of flight. They're where? Wing assisted incline running. Wow, that's interesting. Okay, the conclusion. The dials, that's the last name, right? Yep. The flapping flight stroke birds. So this is on the side of ground up. It's on the side of ground up. That took me a while to process. Right, but this is the flapping. Yeah. Okay. Wait, 30, 20, 25. Let's go. 29. And just writing that takes a couple seconds. That's not the sequence. Okay, that's not the sequence. Previous findings of hypothesis. Okay, yeah, this sounds right. Study modified. Yep. We're at 3125. Okay. Challenged. Oops, yeah, challenged. Dared. Required dispute compute. Nope. Dared. Central assumption in setting up his research. Setting up his research. It's kind of a confusing question. Maybe? Flight. Acquisition of flight. Evolutionary ancestors. Yeah, that sounds about right. Clues. Evolutionary. Explanatory. Right. The baby birds. Right. Wow, that's a high level logic question. Okay. Oops, wrong. Okay. So this is from 6 through 11. 6 through 11. It's medium confidence. Maybe I might want to come back. Yeah, I'm just gonna move on. 3330. Motivation, differences, and just influence. Yep. To the theory, nope. He studied videos. Observed how. Yep. The facility attraction. The position, angle. You know, the word angle and position is kind of awkward, but whatever, I'll work with it. All right, 3510. Let's move on. 61, document, record it, you know, verify it, record it, verify it, publish it, process. Nope, record it. Hang on, portray it? No, record it. What can reasonably be inferred about gliding animals? Gliding animals, they don't flap. Yeah, they don't flap. Oh, no, I just got the answer right away. Okay, nice. Because the only time we really talk about gliding animals is the last bit here. So that's 72 through 4. 72 through 4. Okay, that's 36:25. All right, staying close to 12 minutes. Let's go. Public instruction, education, vindication of the rights of women, a French diplomat for national education, vindication. Oh, in response. Okay, so we're talking about women and education. And yes. At half. And he seems to be on the side of women here. Oh. Okay. Apparently impossible. May easily be. Oh no, happiness is the greatest number. Oh, it sounds like he's not on. So this is his like sort of moral. This is like his standard. What do you call it? His moral standard. His argumentative standard. Leads to a greater sum. So this is his sort of warrant for. This is warrant for his justification for why women don't need to be educated. Right, just as implications. But that requires that they never aspire to exercise political rights and functions. Hey? Hang on. Oh, requires that they right, that they should not be lol. Yeah, that they should not exercise political rights. their interests in the wishes of nature. Ooh, the nature argument. Apparent that their delicate constitutions, peaceful inclinations, their duties of motherhood, gentle occupations and cares of the home. I forget what this is called. The cult of maternity. I forget what that word was. It's not cult of maternity. So, so the complementarian argument, and then this is the sort of home, the home argument, whatever you call that. The good of all, which is the warrant again. Okay. Contending for the rights of women. This, what's the warrant? Okay. Must be common to all. She should know why. The woman should be able to reason through this on her own. So mothers can make their children patriotic. Love of mankind could only happen. Shuts her out from understanding why we should love mankind and be patriotic. Right. If abstraction can justify men's rights, then abstraction should justify women's rights. Prescription. Whether it be not subjugate woman. Who may man the judge? This this two was very hard, but I figured it out. Okay, 21, common. Universal, everyone shared. Okay, it can be inferred. So right now we're at 43:05. Okay. For the author's passage, I don't believe that running are. Maybe. Are you in the less value? Nope. Very few. Nope. Country. Nope. Yeah, I think it is both. Let's just double check. Reach over. Yeah. Huh, this one's tough to find automatically. Uh, okay, I'm stuck because I'm looking at this. But I'm also looking at 25 to 30. But this 25 to 30 does not really give me. But 13 to 17 does give me the fact that it can be for both. Let me look at 30 to 35. Nope, that doesn't help. And 4 to 6. Okay, that doesn't help. So it's between these two. It's between these two, and I'm gonna go with this because it gives the as well as 4. You know, it gives me the as well as. But, oof, this is painful. Okay. Not really happy about that question, but let's move on. It's 45, 40. Oh, I'm just zoned out. Reason. 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 Yep. Okay. Reason, education, reason. Cool. 50. Reason most nearly means. Her, you know, intellect. Yeah, that works. Freedoms granted by society's leaders have privilege one gender. Maybe result in reduction in virtue. Virtue? It's kind of weird. Nature of happiness? No. Equality? No. Privilege? I feel like passage to freedoms granted. But what is this freedoms granted idea, right? Where do we get this evidence for the freedoms granted idea? Where we privilege one gender over the other? Maybe the 72 through 79, and maybe 57 through 58. We don't have 57, 58. Whew, it's painful. Okay, I'm just looking because this was the answer choice D, so I'm looking at the previous parts, but yeah. I'm gonna go with 72 or 78. I'm medium confidence here, so I feel not happy about it, but 72 to 78, let me just double check. 72. Oof, I'm not happy with that. Okay, 41 to 47. Let's read that. 41 to 47, 41 to 47. Okay. Okay, that's just the, yep, no, I would definitely, and then 65, 66. Yeah, that's just, yeah. Process of elimination, but I'm not happy with the wording there. Maybe double check 72, 78 and see what it does and check against the previous question. Who made you judge? Who made you judge? Who made you judge? So I'm looking here right now. No, yeah. Hey. Ugh, not happy with those, but I'm at 49, 25. Okay. Oof, 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 oof. I should be finished with this passage, but not. Well, this passage always takes a long time. 61, 65. I assume. Hang on, just zoned out for a second. The author passage refers to a statement made in passage 1 in order to. Okay, 61, 65. 61, 65. To show some hypocrisy. To show hypocrisy. Qualifications? Nope. Maybe. What? First sentence, passage 1? Heck no. Right? That's definitely not. No, she kind of accepts it. Okay. It is the first passage, sentence 1. Flawed reasoning. This could be regarding gender issues that makes A wrong. Validate the concluding. Validate? No. Okay. Flawed reasoning, passage 1. Let me just double check. And that does seem basically right. 61 to 65. If so, right. This is the flawed reasoning. That part's not about the qualifications. Let's move on. We're at 51. Ooh, that was 2 minutes on that one question. Strongly, that's true. Okay, and the video would normally stop there, but I'm taking over and showing you the final PDF, which is better than nothing. So let's move on over to the final PDF. And I'm gonna try, it's 2 days ago, but I'll try to share my comments from what I can remember from 2 days ago. So I think I answered until here. Right, 39 strongly challenges, pretty straightforward. Passage 2, not happy with passage 1. Not happy about passage 1. Not at all. 40. This one was, oh, yes, I was fairly high confidence on this one. I went straight for D. They generally enjoyed fewer rights. Because both sides just agreed that that was a reality. I think actually when I read the question out loud, I said it out loud, the answer. And I knew the answer before I even looked at D. 41, not naturally suited for the exercise of civil. This one took me some time. I had to eliminate B, C, and D for me to get A. A seemed natural, but my prediction was actually something more like, hang on, let me double check. Passage 2 finishes by saying, do you not act a similar part by forcing them to stay in the dark? And then my prediction at that moment was something like, oh, it was more focused on the happiness of the greatest number. So when I was looking at 40, what I thought, or sorry, 41, what I thought was that the authors of passage 1 would say, hey, what do you mean force? We're just doing what is good for the greatest number of people. Oops, sorry. So that's what I was expecting as my prediction, which made it a little harder for me to get A right away. I looked at A, I thought it was natural, but I wasn't super sure, so I had to eliminate B and C and D. Then I read this. In this case, blue means my first read, and gray means my second read when I'm in the answers. Okay, so blue is actually the first thing I noticed. Like were the marks that I was making while I was reading. Honeybee colony collapse disorder caused by dietary pyrethrum deficiency. You know, up here in the excerpt, that bit is super important. I read that first, and I just had to process it. I was like, oh my god, so many words. Honeybee colony collapse disorder. You know, so many words to process there. But you know, the main thing is that the bees are disappearing, right? Then I read all of this. And I had to make sure that I really understood the pyrethrum, so you know I gave it its due attention. Over here, we suspect that, we further postulate that, right? I don't remember honestly I don't really remember what it was like for me to read this. You know, I thought the language wasn't that complicated. And the ideas weren't that complicated. The most interesting thing over here is this hypothesis can best be tested by a trial. That's not very common on old SAT tests that I've seen, at least. So, you know, can best be tested. This is just an experiment design suggestion, but it's not an actual experiment. It's a design suggestion. So it's kind of an unusual piece of writing for the SAT. I did notice that. I looked at this table really quickly, and I mainly just focused on that really dramatic IAPV 83-5, and all the others were kind of like And then I also briefly noticed that the one that had the least dramatic change was the 100-81, the Nosema ceranae, right? And then all 4 pathogens. Those are some of the eye-popping data points that I could notice right away. That got me to 58:20 seconds, you know, so I recovered some time from this. Okay, passage 4 had actually taken me quite some time, so passage 5 I read that in just under 6 minutes, so I saved some time there. Then now I have about 6 more minutes to finish this passage. So then can, may, could. This one I was highly confident when I chose the answer. Didn't take me too much time. 43. This one, which of the following is hypothesis that the authors suggest be tested? I think, right, because this is one of those which of the following, you kind of have to kind of read through all of them, but then I do have to remind myself what are the hypotheses that they do care about, and just know them and remember them, and I can just look at A, B, C, D without necessarily going back and forth and brute force comparing every single one, which wastes so much time. So I think I got C right away. I don't think I took that much time. Includes pyrethrum. A diet that includes pyrethrum is better, right? So that wasn't so hard. That was pretty easy. It didn't take me too much time. In fact, over here from 58:20 to 101:15, that's almost 3 minutes? Ooh, that took me 3 minutes. I think all of that did that all come from 44? Did that come from 44? It must have come from 44. Which choice provides the best evidence for that one? Apparently I struggle between C and D. I don't remember that. 24, 28, let's double check. Oh, right. I got a little confused because the first one is talking about the nutritionally deficient, and for some reason logically I felt like that made some sense, but then 24, 28 said the words pyrethrum, and you know, I'm strongly against word mapping. Just because you see the word in the answer and in the passage doesn't mean it's the right answer, okay? Just because you see the word doesn't make it a right answer, my friends. False positives all the time. You get false positives all the time if you're word mapping. What I mean by that, what I just said is, if I look if I scan for the answer choices that have the word that I need, okay, where the text and the answers has the same word. So in this case, I'm looking for the word pyrethrum because of C, look, a honeybee diet that includes pyrethrum. If I just see that word pyrethrums, just because I see that one word doesn't mean that D is correct because D has the word pyrethrums, right? That's really simplistic thinking, and it's going to get you a lot of questions wrong. So I was hesitating between C and D, but ultimately I did choose D. And then this red was after I came back to this. I was like, do I still agree with D? And then I finally said, yes, I still agree with D. And then I got that one correct. 45 further. Yeah, this one was pretty straightforward. It's right there in the middle of this paragraph, so pretty straightforward. And yeah, so 46 helps with that. 31 to 35 right there in this middle of this paragraph talks about that. Is there a grammar point there that might be hard for some people? In addition, immunocompromised or nutritionally deficient bees may be further weakened when commercially. No, yeah, not super hard. I mean, it's not easy, but it's not one especially hard sentence grammar wise. Postulate, you just replace the word there to make sure it makes sense. The idea or claim is much more accurate for that context than unfounded assumption. I just had a brief moment where I had to double check. For 47, that was pretty high confidence though. 48 was, oh yeah, 48 high confidence right away. Propose the experiment. The word propose. That's the perfect first word for that answer. So I went through that one pretty quickly. 49, an unstated, right. This one, 49, I got really quickly. I suspect a lot of readers didn't get 49 right away. I got 49 right away because I remember that feeling when I was reading that passage. I was reading 49 and I was reading, and then this clover suddenly come out at line 46 over here on the right side, such as clover on line 46. It just comes out. And I remember when I first read it, I was like, oh, clover. Oh, apparently clover is the control. So therefore, apparently clover doesn't have the pyrethrum. I had that moment when I was reading it. So I remembered that the clover was like apparently the control. So yeah, I totally remembered that the clover apparently doesn't produce pyrethrums. Otherwise, it would be a horrible control. So you have to understand experiment design to get something like this correct right away. Anyway, got that one right away. Didn't spend too much time on that one. 50. 77. Yeah, you just got to read all four passages. Just be very careful with the wording of the question and you'll be fine. For 50, no problem, pretty easy. Highest percentage of honeybee colonies without colony collapse disorder. Yo, that's literally, I predicted that just by before I even saw the question. Just when I read this and I looked for the patterns in the table right here, I already predicted the answer to that one. So that was pretty easy to catch on the go. Nosema serrane. And then 52. Oh, I knew was no right away because I knew that we didn't have the varroa mites or something like that, right? Yeah, we don't have anything from the table about the varroa mites, so it's just an assumption or something in between, or that's just something taken for granted logically. So I had that logical map in my head, which allowed me to just go straight to the nose, and then I just double checked between C and D. What's the focus? What's the logical weak link in C? So that one was pretty high confidence for me. Now, obviously, it would have been much better to obviously, it would have been much better to just show you the actual live solving of it, so that you can see, my hems and haws, just see me actually struggling with it. But that's, I think, the best that I could do for today with the compromised material. My test flew out the window, so to speak. Guys, I hope this was helpful for you. I hope this was helpful for you. I mean, if you watched all the way to here, you're a trooper. I'm just shocked that you watched all of this, and I would be so glad to just hear anything from you, to see what's actually working, what format you're preferring. Next time, the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to use this format, and I'm going to live stream the whole thing first, and I'm going to live stream me going through the answers as well. And then afterwards, I might re-upload to YouTube with a more packaged and trimmed down version of that. I would try. Editing things in iMovie is fairly easy. It's not so hard, but it's still a little uncomfortable for me. It takes me some time, and compared to just time spent on editing, it might be better for me just to spend more time on just doing live streaming so that I can edit it maybe in the future. So I'm going to be experimenting with different things. The next video, I want to pump it up. I mean, this took too long. This took a whole week because of schedules and whatever, but then also the technical problems, you know. Don't want to do that. Don't want to do that. I want to be pumping out more content for people who need this. So yeah, show your support, please. Let me know if this kind of stuff is helpful for you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.